We're going to start with the rest of our training today, which is kind of just notes on open houses and just all the processes that we've put in place to help you guys with your open houses to go more smoothly, efficiently, and all those great things. So we'll go through our open house form, following our open house sheet, and then just our Philly and New Jersey sign procedure, as long as just some helpful tips that I'm sure most of you are all aware of, but just a little refresh to go over some more things. So first we have our open house entry request form. We have two, one for Philly, one for New Jersey. Both very similar, have the same idea. The reason that it really matters is just so everybody is in the loop: marketing, the transactions team, the hosting agents, listing agents. It's very simple. We kind of just ask you to fill out your contact information, the address of the open house, who's hosting, what kind of open house is happening, and just those details with dates and times. A couple notes that are important, as I'm sure most of you know, any TCS agent is able to host any open house TCS listing. One thing that I do want to note is that also any non-TCS agent is also able to host any TCS listing. Below, yes.
If you decide you'd like to host somebody else's listing, it's super important you tell them you're going to host their listing, because we actually had that happen recently where somebody was like, I'm going to sit this open house, and didn't tell the agent. So you must inform the co-listing or listing agent that you're doing that and get the approval. Please don't just go to the property.
Yes, absolutely.
You're so happy to do all the
Yep, absolutely. And that's here down below. We have those instructions on how we have that happen. Basically, the TCS agent that is having that non-TCS agent host on their behalf. They just have to fill out this request sheet with all of their details, all of their information, and then this form has to be submitted to the transaction department, Morgan, and then once it is approved, marketing is able to proceed with all of those marketing promotions, creating everything we can to get the most buzz and attraction to that open house. So very simple.
That does not include open house.
Yes. Yep. It's very simple, all that information, and it all just kind of listed right there. And then for our open house entry sheet, which is a little different, we send this out at the beginning of every single week. And this is really just so marketing is able to know everything that we can help assist all of our agents with. Some of the things that we include in this entry sheet is if you would like to be included in our weekly open house email blast, if you would like some printed flyers for your open house, if you would like open signs, and social media. So for social media, marketing team kind of tends to do a carousel style listing for our agent, their open house. And we will also send this social media posting to yourself so you can post this on your personal Instagram and Facebook accounts. For the open house email blast, we have this sent out for the open house entry sheet the beginning of every week, because we tend to close this by Wednesday at noon of who would like to opt into this email blast, because it gets sent out every single Thursday. So the marketing team will send out a reminder email Wednesday morning, just as a reminder that at noon that email blast will be closed of whoever wants to opt in. But one thing that we do want to note, if you do reach out on Thursday or Friday, marketing is still able to assist with all of your marketing needs, with printed materials, social media posts, and those things. And with those printed materials, then I'll get into Philly and New Jersey, because they do differ slightly. So with printed materials in Philly, Jane and I are here physically in the office. So if you would like any of those flyers printed, we're able to print it for you. We'll package them up in a folder, include a sign-in sheet, a little open house, other marketing materials, and we will have this for you to pick up. We ask by Friday at 5 p.m.
And we do ask, if we do request printed materials, that you please come and pick them up. We've had multiple times people having packages printed up and then they're just left there and they get thrown in the trash. Just bad for the environment, just wasteful in general.
Yep.
Please.
Hurts our feelings.
Yeah.
Is this a separate entry form sheet that we fill out? Is this a separate sheet or?
It's a spreadsheet. Yep.
Is this?
No, this is for us, the spreadsheet.
Oh, I'm saying, but
Yeah.
when we fill out the Google sheet for the open house, do we have?
Yeah,
to
it's just that
fill out
one.
another sheet? Okay.
Yeah,
just wanted to
that
make
one.
sure.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
This is our
I thought for a second.
Yeah.
I was like, did I start another sheet?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So this is like showing like,
Got it.
so we get all of your submissions.
Yeah.
And we see all of them in the sheet, and then this is
using that sheet, using your submission, this is what we can generate for your open house. Yeah.
Yep. And then those printed materials for New Jersey, they differ slightly in the sense that we just asked, that you let us know by Wednesday afternoon if you would like them printed, as well as the email blast. Just because we use a third-party printer with New Jersey, and they will have those printed by Friday morning, deliver them to the New Jersey office, and then again, we ask New Jersey agents to pick those flyers up by 5 p.m. So that's how that process goes. And then for our free open house signs, I'm gonna go through the Philly procedure. So we have multiple signs here in the Philly office, that each is labeled with a number, and each will be checked in and checked out by myself or Jane, if any agent requests one. Since this is something that we offer to all of our agents, we just ask that you again pick up your signs if you would like to use one for your open house no later than Friday at 5 p.m. and also return by Monday at 5 p.m. We don't want to lose any. We want to be able to offer these out as long as possible. So we just would like to receive them and give them out as follows. And just for you all to avoid, there will be penalty fees if we do not start receiving them back. So just something I want to note out. Another option that we do have is the marketing team is also able to order your own personalized signs if you would like to go with that route as well. You just have to email marketing the quantity that you would like, and we'll handle the rest with our vendor, who will make 2 separate signs, one the sign and then the A-frame. And then for New Jersey open house, that procedure is just going to stay as is, picking up, returning. And then lastly, we just have some tips on open houses that I'm sure all of you are aware of, but just great generally to go over. So we love to create a sign-in sheet, a strategy. Like I said, we have physical paper copies here in the Philadelphia office that we like to place in every folder with the flyers that we print out for all of our agents. And then we also offer a digital copy of the flyer, since we're in 2025 and we know everyone loves paper listings. So also, if you would like a digital sign-in sheet, just email Jane or I, and we'll send those to you as soon as possible.
And just to add to that, people sometimes feel awkward asking people to sign in, or people are kind of standoffish and don't want to give their information. So we heard from our previous open house class, that they say, but the seller requires them to have everybody sign in for safety purposes. So,
Yep.
just to make sure that they know who's coming into their.
Absolutely.
Or you
Yep.
could say the building even.
Yeah.
Yep.
Whoever it is.
Yep.
They need to sign in.
You want to know the cost?
Yes, but I mean, most people don't make you sign in, and they, if people feel like they're being invasive, then obviously.
Make it the first thing you say, then.
Well, that's what I'm saying, to make it more natural is to say.
Oh, okay.
It's like the best inviting way to get
Not even
contact
my cop.
info.
Otherwise I
You gotta
can't.
give you sign.
Yep.
Said safety purposes and.
Just for safety purposes,
Or the seller of the.
the seller is requesting. They want to know.
Definitely. Great inviting way to get that contact info.
I also want to add another great thing for sign-in sheets as well, is those could be potential leads, like they might not be interested in that house, but you can still kind of follow up with them, hey, I have similar.
You can also, you can always say that you're going to be hosting a drawing based on whoever's entered in there and then never do the
We
drawing.
did do the
You
raffle,
can,
yeah.
you can also just not do it. I'm just
Yes,
saying.
yeah.
You can just say you're doing it and not go for it. Anybody can do that. If you wanted to.
Yeah, no, but that is a strategy we implemented where we did. Some agents, they did have like a raffle, so if you sign in, then you can enroll yourself into the raffle and win a prize.
I think that works too for programs and events.
Yeah, for
Yep.
sure.
Definitely. And then just some last tips is neighborhood intel, knowing where your open house is being sold. So what school districts are nearby, restaurants that are new or old ones that have great character, commute times, if you're outside of Philly, South Jersey, or even if you're in Philly and people want to know how long it takes to get to the link, Citizens Bank Park, any farmers markets happening this summer. Just great to know what's happening. I know next year, 2026, the FIFA World Cup, I think, is happening. So that'll be like a huge event that people will love to know about. Chance for them to see like a front row seat to a huge world event. So Philly will be very popular next year. And with that going into it, we actually have a link here called visitphilly.com. And it just shows a bunch of things to do in Philly, things to do, restaurants to see. It's basically a website just to show that you won't be bored if you come to Philly. A great place to do things. And then last up, just staging for your target buyer, which kind of goes hand in hand with knowing your neighborhood, knowing who your target buyer is. Young professionals would probably love to go to the FIFA World Cup versus retirees. So just talking points of experiences that you know that they would like to attend to. And then lastly, just door knocking around the neighborhood before open houses. Neighbors could, bring potential buyers, their parents, siblings. I'm sure their parents would love to have their kids in the same neighborhood, their grandkids, just a great talking point. And it could be also an opportunity for potential future listings.
I think that one is super important. Then no one likes, again, to call people or door knock, but the neighbors are nosy. They always love to go and see like what their neighbor's house looks like. Say they will come. They are potential clients in the future. So the better job to do with your open house, if you're gonna have food, if you're gonna have drinks, you should put out balloons, put the open house signs up, put out whatever you want. We talked about doing like little blow up things or the flags. Depends where you're hosting the open house. If it's in the suburbs, in the city, obviously in a condo, it's a little bit harder, but there's all kinds of stuff you can do to, make it a better event and impress the people that come around. And people, again, they want their family to move near them. Like Vicky said.
Yep.
They want the friends, the coworker that's looking to move closer to the office, whatever it is.
Definitely.